Maya Selland, who scored the first 9 points of overtime, 29 points overall. Paige Meyer with 16 points. 22 straight wins for the Jackrabbits. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Aaron Johnston.
Well, that was a exhausting game for sure. I'm sure for both teams. Both teams were, I thought, really good defensively. And I know sometimes those games don't get up and down. There wasn't a lot of just continuous offense, and sometimes that can kind of change the game. But both teams, I thought, were really good defensively. After the first couple of minutes, I thought we really settled in and honestly played well against a good team. So proud of the fact that we were able to hang on there and win. We actually made quite a few plays. I know we had some that didn't go our way late, but we made quite a few plays and had to get a lot of positive things done to get that. So excited we get a chance to play again. Excited for these Jackrabbits up here. They worked pretty hard for it.
Questions for the student athletes? We'll start in the back.
Matt Zimmer, Sioux Falls Live. Maya, you kind of went off there in the fourth quarter and into overtime. Did you make kind of a conscious decision to try and take things into your own hands, or did the game just kind of come to you in those moments?
Yeah, I think, AJ put me in a lot of positions. We have a lot of sets that we have practiced all season, and he put me in a lot of positions where I just felt comfortable and saw a few shots go in, and so that's kind of just let the game kind of come from there. But we all made really big plays throughout the game.
Paige, what was it like for the other players on the team to kind of see Maya get hot like that and kind of feed her and watch her kind of lead you guys to a victory?
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of fun when, anyone on the team gets going, and yeah, especially Maya, then that energy, feels off on all of us.
Jimmy in the front.
Jimmy Robertson, Associated Press. Either of you guys can answer this. What was the mindset going into overtime? You kind of had the game in control. They hit the big three-pointer. What was just the mindset as you looked at those extra 5 minutes?
Yeah, we just talked a lot about staying together. We were going to make plays together and do things as a group. And so we had 5 more minutes to compete, to play and earn another game. And so I thought we did a really good job of just, staying together.
Andrew Holton, Bergen's Register. Maya, you guys fell behind 12-2. What kind of changed there? Was it just kind of a matter of settling down a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. I think, we had a few good looks early. They just didn't fall, and so we knew that if we stayed in it and stayed confident, we'd get shots to fall, and I thought we did a good job just staying in the game and slowly chipped away at that.
Additional questions for the student athletes? We'll come back to Jimmy.
Normally you guys score a bunch of points, and tonight's game was low scoring. It was kind of ugly. How much confidence do you gain as you look ahead to Virginia Tech by winning a game like this?
Yeah, we really had to rely on our defense tonight, and obviously we got the job done there. And so defense will be important for us again on Sunday. And so, yeah, I think that's something that we can, take away from this and feel good about.
All right, thank you for your time. Best of luck on Sunday. And reminder, the South Dakota State locker room is open until 11:32 tonight. We'll open it up to questions for Coach Johnston. And we'll start here on my left.
Aaron, we've talked about how we've kind of been waiting for this game from Maya, kind of have her take over. How exciting was it to see her take over down the stretch there?
Yeah, Maya was the difference for us in the game in a variety of ways. Certainly her scoring, especially late. She was able to make a lot of tough plays, put them in foul trouble with some big-time plays for us. She got some rebounds, and she was that calming presence today, because there were times where we were a little bit rattled for sure, and we had some probably some unforced turnovers and some forced turnovers. But Maya was that calming presence that I think we've all had a chance to see her be. And the team did a great job. We really obviously went to her a lot late in that game, particularly in overtime, and she responded like you would hope somebody that has that kind of talent and ability would respond. So she was the difference in the game, no doubt about it.
We'll go here in the middle.
Madison Van Mulligan with Reaching the Summit. Coach, do you feel like South Carolina's physicality in December and ORU's press just last week kind of prepared you for this matchup, and how so?
Yeah, I think so. Whether it's South Carolina or Louisville or Mississippi State or any of those teams that we played, I think we went back and really drew on some of those things. Early on in the game, I thought offensively we played well. They blocked a lot of shots. We didn't finish well at the rim. We didn't do a great job of just getting set, trying to just use shot fakes, things like that. But after we settled in, Paige was really good. She was hard to guard for a lot of that game. And those are things that we've done a lot throughout the year. But I think kind of understanding just their length and their athleticism probably took a little bit of time for us to settle into it. But our defense was exceptional. When we weren't good offensively, our defense really carried us, I thought, and kept us in that game. And then I think just the game pressure. I talked about it the other day. It's just tough, finishing plays at the end of those games. And some I thought we did really well. A couple I'm sure we'd love to have back. But, overall we made a lot more positive plays than things that didn't go our way. So all of those games we've had throughout the year I think have helped us, be ready for this moment.
We'll go with Jimmy in the front.
Yeah, what was your defensive game plan coming into this one?
Well, I think we do a really good job of understanding matchups, who we want to help off of, where we want shots to come from, who we don't want taking shots. We mixed up how we handle ball screens in this game compared to what we've done really traditionally throughout the year based on what we thought we could do. We really wanted to try and play one-on-one in the post with them, which we did, and I thought helped off the right people most of the time. We thought rebounding was going to be a big factor, and I felt like from my perspective, we gave up a lot of offensive rebounds, but I also felt like we got some big offensive rebounds when we needed them. So we felt like, defensively, we've played against those styles before and had a good idea what we wanted to get done, and I think that carried over into the stats and into the game. But our team just does a great job of understanding matchups, where we want the ball to go, how we're going to help, and I think, I really saw that from my perspective.
Mitchell in the front row.
Yeah, Coach Mitchell Northam, LA Times. Facing a shot blocker like Rhea, blocked 7 shots tonight and was just kind of a force in the paint. Does that change what you're trying to do offensively when you have you're facing a shot blocker like that?
Yeah, I think so. In that first half, we really relied on a lot of ball screens. Paige was really good getting to the basket. We had some other players too, and probably early some of those block shots made us maybe hesitant to do some of the things we did late. And then Maya really got on a roll, and we just went, inside. That was something we didn't do probably as much of early in the game, feeling like we just might not be what we want there. But I'm glad we kind of got to it. I wish we would have gotten to Maya a little bit sooner, even at the end of regulation. That's more on me than them. But yeah, I think Maya really proved that no matter who she's playing, she's an awfully good player down there. So
Second row. Go across.
Tom Neiman, Midco Sports. AJ, Callie Tyson came in and gave you great minutes again. How did you feel that your team kind of matched their toughness tonight?
Yeah, I think Callie is probably one of the most underrated, appreciated players in our league. I just do. What she does for us is so important. It allows us to defend certain ways. It allows us to stay out on some shooters. We don't have to help as much when Callie's in there. She's just an incredible presence for us. Another one of those calming people, too, that always seems like she's in the moment and doesn't get rattled when things happen. She had some key defensive plays down the stretch in this game. Even in overtime when we had a little bit of our push, Callie was a big part of the stops that we got that gave us some separation there. So, yeah, Callie was phenomenal in this game. And like I said, Maya has such a spectacular game, but Callie sometimes just gets, like I said, maybe undervalued, not so much from us, but I think on the outside, just because she doesn't score a ton of points all the time. But she was as important for us defensively as Maya was for us offensively.
In the middle.
Joey, Legacy Maker Sports Network. You guys are going to have to play in front of a sold-out crowd in Castle Coliseum tomorrow. Is there anything that you guys do to prepare for an environment like that? Is it something different than you do normally, or can you just explain that for me?
Yeah, we don't go in there and crank up the music in practice or anything like that. we've been in a lot of different atmospheres. I think tomorrow is going to be a phenomenal atmosphere. Watching the first game today and seeing the crowd and how involved they were, and that's exciting. You know, that's where we want to be. I think that's where every team wants to be. It's certainly nice when they're on your side, and we get that a lot back home. And having to kind of battle that kind of pressure is going to test us for sure. But that's exactly where you want to be. And I have, you know, great respect here when you see the fan support and the interest in women's basketball. We've played in a bunch of NCAA tournaments, and we've played in, unfortunately, too many empty gyms in some of these early round games. And I'm guessing it's not going to be empty on Sunday. I'm guessing there's going to be people there, and that's exciting. And it's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be exciting.
We'll go to the middle here, and then, yep.
Coach, Tim Thomas from the Tech Lunch Pail. With that matchup on Sunday, what are your kind of first thoughts on Virginia Tech and how your team matches up with the Hokies? It seems like both of these teams are very good on the offensive end.
You know, watching them, I just feel like in some ways things that I like about our team, I certainly like about their team. I think there's a real clear plan on what they're trying to get done. They can score inside, they can score on the perimeter. Defensively, they're playing at a high level. They just have a really good idea where they want to help off of, where they want to try and take some things away, and I think there's a lot of what I like about our team in them when I watch them play. So very deserving, I think, of a #1 seed when I watch them. You know, that's going to be a big test for us for sure, but we're looking forward to it.
Last two here.
Aaron, it kind of looked like you maybe had the game won in regulation, and there were some sort of goofy circumstances there at the end. Could have lost momentum there, you know, with USC hitting that big three-pointer and some kind of questionable calls. What did you guys talk about in the huddle or leading into overtime to kind of not let that happen and reassert that momentum a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. I think towards the end of the regulation, even at the end of overtime, I'll look back and there's some things I needed to do better to get us in better spots too, and then we need to handle the things that we can't control, and that's what I think we did a great job of, really staying present and in the moment, and that's where I think that calmness of, you know, particularly Maya in that situation, Callie, Tori, they've got a lot of experience, and Haley and Paige are out there for the first time, and you can see in that moment in the NCAA tournament I'm talking about, and you can see those three upper class players talking to those, you know, young sophomores and reminding, here's what we're in, here's what we're on defense, here's what we're doing if they score, here's what we're doing if they miss. But just a lot of poise, I thought, from our leaders for sure. And that was huge. I thought, you know, forget the exact time, but even late in the game when we had some separation, they came back and made a run, and we lost the lead and had to get the lead back and felt like we had it won, and now it's a tie game. And then to go into overtime and really play well in overtime just says a lot about the resiliency of our team, the ability to let go and move on, to be in the present, and that's fun, you know, as a coach. It's just great to see that part of it rewarded.
Last one here.
You guys have the #1 seed now. You know, how excited do you feel like your team is to, you know, play the #1 seed and kind of be in the underdog role, because you guys haven't really had that at all this season?
Yeah, I think they're going to be excited to get to bed tonight. These late games are tough, you know, you got a lot of energy, and it's going to be hard to wind down. And then tomorrow, I think they'll move on and be ready for the next opportunity. You know, if there's a word you've heard from our team a lot this year, they've used that word, make the most out of this opportunity. What's in front of us? What can we do with this chance that we have? And I think they'll approach that game the same way. Playing against a great team, a #1 seed at their place, it's a challenge, but it's also an opportunity. And we've got to look at it that way and try and get a good plan together and get ready to go.
Coach Johnston, thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Reminder, South Dakota State News Conference tomorrow here at 1:25. Virginia Tech is at 2:15. And Sunday's tip time, 5 p.m. between South Dakota State and Virginia Tech. Thank you and good night.